Alrighty, so who wants to go first? And we're doing AFC first, but north, south, east, or
We,
west?
we can start with the East.
Okay.
So I have the Bills. I think they're gonna probably run like 14 or 15 wins this year,
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah.
Really good team. I think they'll be in the AFC Championship as well, probably.
Yeah, no. There, I have the Bills as well. They've easily probably one of the best defenses, one of the best offenses.
I
Rhino.
agree. I have the Buffalo Bills as well. I feel like their offense is really good. Josh Allen, and they have a really strong defense.
They're really fun to watch, honestly.
They are fun to watch, especially with
I
Stephon
really
Diggs
enjoy
going
watching
over
them.
there. Yeah, especially with
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs going over there last year.
Just AFC North. I'm going with the Baltimore Ravens, and I say that because I feel like Lamar Jackson will turn on a switch and they will click on offense.
I have the Browns winning this year. Um, they were really close last year. I mean, the Steelers I think just beat them last year, and I think they have a lot of potential this year, and I think they can go a little deep in the playoffs.
Yeah. I have the Ravens as well. Defense, I feel like they are better than last year. I think last year they had injuries, if I recall, and they just basically threw. I feel like they're going to come first place. It's going to be basically down to the wire between the Ravens and the Browns. I feel like the Steelers this year, they don't have a chance. They don't have a
I
starting.
don't know. The Steelers.
They don't really have a starting offensive line though. They have Pouncey retired, Villanueva retired, I believe. Like they just
That's true, but they have a new running. They have a new running back, and they have their defense is like very consistent.
yeah. I just
That's gonna hold them in games.
it's gonna hold them in games. I obviously the Bengals don't have a chance at all. Like I'll be
My only thing with Ravens is last year the team's kind of caught up to Lamar Jackson a little bit
yeah. I feel like
compared,
this yeah.
compared to the season before that.
I feel like this year though he'll have a better passing season instead of just
Okay.
trying to do it all himself. He actually, I don't know. Did they make any offensive? I feel like they made more offensive moves that I can't recall. And then I just feel like I just have a strong feeling if they're gonna win it, they're probably gonna get bounced in the first round. But I feel like they're gonna win the division no matter what. AFC South. I'll go first. Tennessee.
Okay.
Tennessee is just gonna win the division for AFC South. They're head and shoulders above everybody. They're just, especially with Julio, they're gonna probably be the 1 or 2 seed. It's gonna be insane this year for Tennessee.
I have to agree. I'm going with the Tennessee Titans. I feel like they have a really strong offense with Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill, and I feel like they're just going to click like the Baltimore Ravens with the AFC North. I just feel like their offense is going to carry them too, and they have a really strong defense as well.
Yeah, I have the Titans as well. It's just not going to be close in this division, just because Carson Wentz got hurt and Quentin Nelson.
Yeah.
The Colts were the only contention in this division to possibly beat them,
Yeah.
and it's just not going to happen.
Juice, you want to lead us off with the AFC West? Because I think we all have the same team again here.
The Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
They're just they're just that good.
Yeah, they're just.
Yeah.
There's not much of a discussion here. I mean, the Chargers, with Herbert, he's really good.
I have.
It's just not the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I think they don't compare to the talent that the Chiefs bring.
No,
Like,
I have.
Right.
Patrick Mahomes.
I would say
it's very uncomparable.
Yeah, I would say the Chargers have a dark horse ability to make it into the playoffs as like a 6-7 seed. I don't think they're gonna do good, but I feel like they do have that sort of potential to make it into the playoffs. But
Yeah.
beating the Chiefs, they're not going to. I think it's gonna be Chiefs 1, Titans 2. One of those ways they're gonna be flip flops.
For the NFC East, I'm gonna have to say the Washington football team.
Okay. Why?
Why? I want to hear this one.
Okay, I feel like Fitzmagic is going to pop off from the revenge of the Dolphins, and he will take it for the championship.
I just have the Cowboys. Dak's coming back. It's just gonna be the Cowboys score a lot of points,
Yeah.
and they're also building their defense a little bit with these draft picks, and they're gonna slowly start getting better on defense and start allowing less points. I have the Cowboys.
I also have the Washington football team. Their defense is one of the top. It's one of the best in the league. They're only getting better on defense. The only thing that really scares me is that offense. Like, I have a sinking feeling that the Cowboys are going to get hurt again this year. Dak's already hurt his shoulder. The Cowboys scare me. Yeah, the Cowboys scare me. Like, I don't trust Mike McCarthy with it being a Packer fan. I don't trust Mike McCarthy. I don't trust that offense. Like, they're obviously going to prove me wrong this year, but I just trust Washington more, which is a scary thing to say, but I just feel like that defense could carry them to 8+ wins. Like, I feel like this division is going to be very tightly, not as bad as it was last year, but it's going to be a lot more even. Like, everybody's going to have at least 8+ wins except the Giants, which I feel like they're going to be in last place. NFC North, I'll go. I have Green Bay. We've just been proven to be a powerhouse. I have a sinking feeling that the Vikings are probably going to win the division altogether. But I have to rep the Green Bay Packers. We have Rodgers back. That's automatically 4+ wins, I would say.
So I have a surprise here. It's the Vikings. I have the Vikings winning, surprising the Green Bay Packers. I think they're gonna. I think they'll go 1-1 in league play when they play against each other. And I just think the Vikings are just gonna have like one more win than the Green Bay Packers. It's gonna be very close.
I do have the Green Bay Packers. Their offensive weapons are unmatched. I feel like Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams, Allen Lazard, Valdez-Scantling, all those, even Robert Tonyan too. I feel like their offensive weapons are just unmatched in that division, and their defense is solid. They have a very solid defense.
Now I'm going with the Saints here, and I think it's gonna be the Saints because in last year in the regular season when we played the Bucks, we kind of shut them down in the regular season, and I think we understand how to cover them defensively. So, and Jameis Winston isn't as bad as people think, in my opinion. I think he's gonna have a pretty decent season this year.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to go back. Their offensive and defensive weapons are just still unmatched. Tom Brady has been proven to be one of, if not the best quarterback in the entire league, and he has so many wide receivers to throw to, it's not even funny. I feel like Tampa Bay Buccaneers is going to take it.
I have to say the same thing. Tampa Bay's going to take it. They have every single starter signed back from the last year.
Sure. So this pick might surprise some of you, but I think the Arizona Cardinals are going to win the NFC West. And I say that because of all of the new talent that they brought on over the offseason. They have Kyler Murray, who's re-signing with them. They have DeAndre Hopkins, AJ Green, Christian Kirk's still there, even though a little older, but it's okay. JJ Watt's on the defense now. They still have Isaiah Simmons. I feel like the picks and the moves that they made in the offseason will bring them to win the division.
I have the Rams winning this year. They have a good defense. It's already set in stone, and they have Matt Stafford, who I think is gonna he might explode this year on a good team.
Yeah. So I've been going back and forth between the Rams and the Cardinals, and I think I'm going to end with the Cardinals. The moves that they made this offseason, getting J.J. Watt, keeping DeAndre Hopkins, signing A.J. Green, their offense has just gotten 10 times better. Their defense got a lot better with signing J.J. Even though he is older and a little bit more injury prone, it's going to be tough for people to keep up.
The only thing about the Seahawks is their defense, and they're just going to give up way too many points, and it's going to be hard for Russell Wilson, in my opinion.
Yeah, Seahawks defense, they're sort of leaving Russ to dry out there. I feel like now it's just becoming the Russell Wilson show. The 49ers, I feel like we're all sleeping on them, but they could have a very sneakily good season. The only reason they didn't do good last year was because of injuries that just plagued the team. if they don't have that many injuries, I could see it very much so being the 49ers, the Cardinals, and the Rams all trying to win division, having like one.
It's really the hardest division right now to like pick. It's like honestly a 25% chance of getting it right.
Yeah, it's
like anyone. This one's up for grabs. Anyone can win it.
Yeah. Alrighty. So next is Super Bowl. Who do you have going to the Super Bowl? I'll start with this one. Who I have going to the Super Bowl. Because it sort of goes off my last one a bit. I have the Kansas City versus the Cardinals. Like, I just have the Cardinals. I feel like they're going to do very good this year. Even though it's going to be very close. But I have the Kansas City Chiefs beating the Cardinals. They just have weapons at every single position. It's not even funny.
I have the Chiefs winning out of the AFC. It's going to be really close. I think it's going to be the Chiefs and the Bills in the AFC Championship.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch that game. Hoping everyone's healthy. That's going to be a great game to watch. And out of the NFC, I have the Bucks again. We have a rematch of last year. And I think the Chiefs are going to come out on top.
Okay.
They're going to get their revenge from last year.
Yeah.
It's respectable.
Rhino, who do you have?
So I have the Kansas City Chiefs winning the AFC championship. And then I have the Cardinals winning the NFC championship. And I feel like they're going to win the Super Bowl because it's about damn time they win a Super Bowl. And I feel like they're fed up with losing and fed up with all that shit. And all the picks are going to perform they're going to perform really well. And I feel like they're going to shine and win the Super Bowl against the Chiefs.
My MVP this year is going to be Pat Mahomes. He had a really good year last year. I think he's just gonna this year after losing the Super Bowl. I think it's like more of a revenge year this year. I think he might throw 50 touchdowns again.
Does he break the record this year?
No record. I don't think, but I think he's just gonna have a good year.
Okay. Rhino?
I feel like I have Tom Brady for my MVP. I feel like he's gonna win MVP and he's gonna be really good this year.
So, this is gonna sound stupid since I didn't have their team winning the division or really making it that far in the playoffs.
Josh Allen.
No. Matthew Stafford.
Whoa! that backs my statement up.
Yeah.
With the Rams.
So that division is gonna be very tough. I have the Cardinals winning it and the Cardinals making it to the Super Bowl just because I just have a feeling where they're like, as soon as this playoffs hit, they're gonna turn it up to fucking 11 and just roll through everybody almost. I feel like I have the same thing where it's going to be Cards, Tampa Bay in the championship round. Cards are going to win it. Tom Brady's going to throw up a really good amount. But I just have Matthew Stafford with him throwing over, basically throwing up great numbers in Detroit for the past 10 years. Like, him actually being on a good team and him actually being able to show off how good he actually is. People are going to realize that he is not a bad quarterback. He's just been in a shitty situation. This is sort of a dark horse, but I feel like it's warranted. I feel like Justin Jefferson is going to have a very good year for the Vikings. With his performance last year, I feel like it's only going to be multiplied, especially with more people looking at him this year. This is what.
So my offensive player of the year, I have Alvin Kamara. I think he's consistent. He's consistently like a top 3 running back, in my opinion. And I think this year he just has to prove that he's like really good because there's no Drew this year, you know. He's got to prove that he can just work out the backfield. I think he's gonna have like not a 2,000-yard year, but I think he'll be close. Probably 1,800, 1,900. I think he'll have a good year.
What do you have?
I have Matthew Stafford. I feel like he's gonna perform really well with the Rams, and it's gonna be like you all said, it's gonna be a tough division. But I feel like he's gonna have an offensive player of the year. He's gonna be the offensive player of the year because it's a new team for him, and he is going to perform really well. And I feel like the league should notice that, and they probably will.
Okay. Do you want to do your defensive player of the year?
Yeah, sure. My defensive player of the year, I have Aaron Donald. Like I said, the Rams are really good this year. I feel like Aaron Donald will perform really well, like he always has. He's a very solid choice.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Juice, who do you have?
This year I have Myles Garrett. Last year he had a phenomenal year last year, and I think he's gonna back that up again this year. He's gonna have another good year.
Okay. Again, mine is sort of like a dark horse. I have Minkah Fitzpatrick. He is now going to be one of the captains for the Steelers. Even though I said they don't really have a good team, I feel like Minkah Fitzpatrick is going to be one of the shining stars on that defense. Like you said before, the defense has always been good. Minkah Fitzpatrick is just going to basically try to take over the entire secondary. I just have a strong feeling like he's going to do really good this year. So,
I think T.J. Watt also has a good shot too.
T.J. Watt has a good shot.
Out of the Steelers.
Yeah. Like I just have I feel like Fitzpatrick is just going to be very good. It's especially he got traded last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like with him having a whole year under his belt and a whole offseason with the Steelers, he's just going to go off completely for the Steelers.
Yeah.
Especially with him only being 24, 25. He's going into his prime. So, alrighty. Juice, do you want to say your rookie of the year?
Yeah. So my offensive rookie of the year is going to be Trey Lance for the 49ers. He just has pieces around him, you know. Trevor Lawrence doesn't. He has George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk. He just has a bunch of pieces around him, and he has a good defense to back him up. I think he's set up to have a good year this year.
Do you think he starts though?
Yeah, I think he's starting.
He starts game 1?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll go second since you just talked about him. What are you gonna say?
I saw a clip from training camp of this ridiculous pass he made, and it just made me think that he's gonna win it.
Yeah. I say Trevor Lawrence. The hype surrounding him, it's basically like that sort of Zion thing for the NBA where it's like if he didn't get hurt, they were just gonna hand him Rookie of the Year trophy.
I mean, they almost did.
They almost did too, which is like gonna be that big thing where it's like, oh, he's been a winner. He hasn't had a losing season since he was in middle school. Like, they're just going to basically hand Trevor Lawrence, even if he has a mediocre season. I feel like they're just going to hand it to him no matter what. Like, I have a strong feeling that they're just not going to start Trey Lance in San Francisco. At least, I would say at least until Game 5. Like, after Game 5, I feel like then they might start him, but I feel like Trevor Lawrence is going to be starter day 1. Like, I love Gardner Minshew, but...
Yeah.
Like...
It's definitely a quarterback battle between those two teams.
Yeah.
There's definitely a quarterback battle going on.
Yeah, I just feel like Trevor Lawrence is just going to be basically handed it to him because they're just going to be like, oh, it's Trevor Lawrence. So... Alrighty, Rhino, who do you have?
I agree with Karma 100%. I feel like they're just going to hand Trevor Lawrence the trophy just because of the publicity and things around him as a player. I feel like Trevor Lawrence is going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Okay. I'll do defensive first. So,
see, my only thing was with the 49ers, excuse me.
No, it's all good.
My only thing with the 49ers is they picked Trey Lance at like the 3rd pick, I think.
Yeah.
And I just don't see, like, he's 21.
You don't see him having like the same thing where the Chiefs
I
did.
mean, he could come in. He could come in into the like second or third week, but like I still think he's gonna win Rookie of the Year, even missing those 2 games. There's 17 games this year. You know,
Yeah, true.
There's a lot to prove.
Yeah. So, okay, for defensive rookie of the year, I did zero research. I just picked a name that I saw was good, that a lot of people had hype surrounding him. I picked Patrick Surtain II for the Denver Broncos.
Okay, he was really good with Alabama.
Yeah, I haven't really done any tape. That defense is not going to be good. I feel like he's going to be the one shining spot on it for the Broncos. They're just going to look at him and they're not going to basically hand him a trophy. I just feel like with how bad that defense is going to be, it's going to look like he's doing everything he can, and I feel like he's going to win it that way.
Okay.
Juice.
Yeah.
I got Micah Parsons. He was really good for Penn State, and I think he's a good fit for the Cowboys. They really need a defensive player, and actually tonight, the first game of the preseason, he got a fumble recovery in the first half. That was a good showing for him in his few snaps that he had tonight. He's really good. He's really good at getting to the ball. He's really quick. I think he has the speed and strength. I think he's just going to get him the defensive rookie of the year.
Yeah.
I agree with Juice. I feel like Micah Parsons is going to get defensive rookie of the year. I did absolutely no research, and I don't know who defensive rookies are and where they played, but that's my pick.
He had a really good showing at Penn State. He has a lot of potential, I think.
Alrighty. Comeback player of the year. I have a strong feeling that we're all going to pick the same person.
Okay. Let's hear it.
I have Joe Burrow. If they win, I'm going to say they're going to try to win 8+. They're going to try to go over 500. But I feel like they're just going to get 8 wins. Tearing his ACL.
8 wins isn't 500 anymore.
Oh yeah, it's not. Yeah,
17.
well, they're gonna try to get over 500.
Yeah, yeah.
They're just gonna lose at 8. It's gonna be an 8 and 8 and 9 season now.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're just gonna win 8 games. The NFC North is stacked. I feel like they could probably take. They could probably go 1-1 with Pittsburgh. I feel like they could probably go 1-1 with almost every single team in the AFC North.
Yeah.
The only team that I really feel like they don't have a chance with is the Browns. Like, I just feel like they're just gonna. It's not gonna be the same thing as Alex Smith, but I feel like they're just gonna give it to him because if he leads them to an 8-win season, that's already gonna be more than what they did last year, and it's gonna be starting to look good for Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Rhino, who do you have?
I also have Joe Burrow. I feel like he's going to play really well. And last year was just a letdown, but it was also just, it sucks because he couldn't perform as well, and people were expecting him to perform. But
he couldn't perform at all. He tore his ACL.
Well, I mean, for the
that,
he didn't perform, stellar, but. I mean, then he tore his ACL, and now he can't perform at all this season. So, it's just a rocky season entirely. So, I feel like he'll definitely come back and come back strong.
Yeah, I'm going with Joe Burrow too. The addition of Jamar Chase it just made me want to pick this one. The connection they had at LSU was really good. They won a national championship together, And they also have they have 2 other good wide receivers. They got T. Higgins. I mean, they also have Joe Mixon. They're trying to build their offensive line, which they really need to do to protect him. But I think he's gonna have a good year passing the ball.
Yeah, I feel like within the next 2 drafts, they're gonna try to get offensive linemen because they need to get the offensive line up. Like, it's not bad, but it's one of the worst in the league. Like,
yeah. This year they had to go with Chase at 5.
Yeah.
The connection was just way too strong to pass up,
Yeah, especially with probably Joe Burrow, with their star quarterback basically being like, "Hey, draft this person." I feel like it's one of those things where it's like they needed to pick him and to try to keep their star player happy, especially with them being in Cincinnati and them having a very strong sort of losing quarterbacks with Carson Palmer and Andy Dalton. So, alrighty, now we're going to the leaders. Juice, who do you have for? What are you doing?
Passing
first?
leader.
Passing. Okay.
Passing leader. It's gonna be Pat Mahomes. He has Tyreek. He has so many options. He passes so deep. He throws the hell out of the ball. He's very impressive. I think he has a 5,000 yard year.
Juice or Rhino?
Yeah, I'm going to say, so passing leader, I'm going to have to say Aaron Rodgers. From what I've seen in the training camp with the arm, and from what I've known from Aaron Rodgers to go in the past, I feel like he has a fire that still is lit for the Green Bay Packers. I feel like he's going to.
Yeah, that's my second. That's my runner-up.
Yeah, that's all.
That's literally my runner-up.
It's just Josh Allen. He's just gonna have that deep ball connection with Stephon Diggs. It's just gonna. They're gonna be one of. I feel like the Bills are gonna be one of the most fun team to watch. Their defense is gonna be top notch. Their offense is gonna be top notch. They have the MVP now. They're gonna have probably the MVP within the next 3-4 years. They're gonna be a fun team to watch. I'll do rushing leader. In my opinion, it's a no-brainer. It's gonna be Derrick Henry again. They're just gonna shove him down the middle. He's gonna get 2,000 plus yards. I just hope that he doesn't get injured. He's one of the bruiser backs of the NFL, and it's just gonna be Derrick Henry basically running the ball, especially with them adding Julio. It's still just going to be the Derrick Henry show, I feel like, especially like now that they have to worry about 2 Pro Bowl wide receivers.
Yeah.
He just has more. He has a better opportunity to try to break the rushing record.
I gotcha.
Juice.
Yeah, I agree. Also, the team, their division is just so bad.
Yeah.
Defenses are bad, man. He's just gonna run right through them.
Yeah.
And they're not gonna have to pass the ball. They just run out the clock once they go up like 3 touchdowns. So they're just gonna keep running. So yeah, I think he's gonna have the most rushing yards. But the only reason I have Alvin Kamara as my offensive player of the year is just because his ability of catching. I think he's gonna have like 1,400 yards receiving maybe.
Yeah, I feel like Alvin Kamara, even though he's a very good running back, he also has that sort of the check down, like on lock, especially with having Jameis Winston there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, isn't Michael Thomas doesn't he need to have surgery or something like that? So
he's not gonna be here for the start.
Yeah, so I just feel like
he's gonna have to carry. I think.
Yeah, so.
That's also why I have him as my MVP, or not MVP, offensive player of the year.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Rhino, who do you have as rushing leader?
I also have Derrick Henry. I feel like it's a no-brainer. Derrick Henry is just gonna take it.
Yeah. The defenses are too bad, and they play them twice a year.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, the Colts defense is decent, but like
the Colts defense is one of the better ones in the NFL. But they already have Derek Thomas out with an injury. Like, I just have a strong feeling that the Colts are just gonna be injury riddled this year, and it's just gonna be a no. Like, I feel like the Titans are gonna almost 2-0 every single team in their division.
Yeah.
Rhino, you haven't done one yet. Let's have you do receiving leaders.
Justin Jefferson. I feel like Justin Jefferson is going to have a good year, and I feel like he's going to be leading in receiving yards.
Fair. Juice, who do you have?
I have Diggs. I think Josh Allen's he's going to be up there in the passing yards. I have him as my runner-up for passing yards, and Diggs is really his like his number one guy. Like it's hard to pick Tyreek Hill because he has Travis Kelce with him, and he's gonna be taking yards from him too. You know,
Yeah.
Diggs is the main guy there. He's the number one. There's no one else really taking that many yards from him.
I mean, Cole Beasley, he's still there, but he's not gonna.
Yeah,
He's not gonna take as much. He's gonna take.
He's there physically, but yeah, you know.
Yeah. I also have Diggs, number one deep threat in Buffalo. Josh Allen's just gonna be Josh Allen and basically just throw deep balls 100 yards down the field. Stephon, he's one of the most talented receivers, I would say, this year. Like, I love Devontae Adams, but Diggs is just gonna go off. Like, especially with him being really only the number one target there, them not really having a sort of secondary team or a secondary receiver.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add this right now because I want to see what you guys say. Who will be the worst team in the league this year?
The worst team in the league.
Worst team in the league. Who will have the number one draft pick next year?
The Jets.
Jets.
Yeah, the Jets.
Yeah, I should have seen that coming.
I mean, the only contention might be Detroit or
I feel like if Detroit doesn't,
Jacksonville might have like 4 or 5 wins. I think.
I feel like Jacksonville will. Yeah, Jacksonville will have probably 4 or 5. I feel like they'll probably have. I feel like Jacksonville will probably have 3. Detroit will have 2, and Jets will have 1. If Detroit doesn't get the first pick in the draft, I feel like it's going to be a lost season for them. But the Jets are just. I forgot about the Jets completely, to be honest.
Yeah, they're barely a football team, if I'm going to be honest.
Like, I don't even think they have their rookie quarterback signed yet. They're just a major shit show. So, it's just...
Yeah. Do y'all have any surprises this year? Like, who y'all think like the teams that are going to surprise?
Can I say one that's going to be very, very bad this year, and they're normally not?
Yeah.
The Dolphins.
Really?
Like, yeah, I feel like they're going to... I love Tua Tagovailoa. I just have a sinking feeling that the Patriots are going to be back next year. They're just going to miss the playoffs, and then I feel like they're still going to have like almost a double-digit win season, like probably 8-9. But I just have a feeling that they're not going to be as good as they were last year. Like, even with...
Yeah, their defense helped out a lot last year. They had a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah, it's just going to be one of those things where it's like, I don't feel like their defense is going to be that good again this year.
I feel that. I think my biggest surprise, I think it's probably going to be either Philadelphia or, I mean, San Francisco is going to be, it's not really a surprise, but they're just going to be a lot better this year, just because of health. Them and maybe Cincinnati.
What do you
Philadelphia
have?
and Cincinnati.
Philadelphia and Cincinnati.
Yeah, they might be some surprises this year.
How many wins do you have Cincinnati getting?
Ooh, I mean,
They've got one of the tougher divisions.
They do. Probably like 8 or 9.
8 or 9.
Yeah.
I feel like if they have 8 or 9, I feel like that's a win season for them. Like,
yeah.
Like, I feel like they're hoping for 5, 6, 7, like somewhere in that range. But even if they get 8 or 9, they're gonna be super happy about it.
Yeah.
They don't look good, especially last year. If they have a little bit of a better team, like, they're gonna be very good.
Yeah.
Juice,
Oh no,
Yes.
Momento Tenacity.
you want a duo?
Hold up. Yeah.
Okay. I'm ready to do it whenever.
Okay. We're finishing this thing.
I'm just sitting in menus, basically.
Okay.
All right. Rhino, who's your surprise this year?
He's
I didn't really think that far into it, but surprise. I feel like the Cincinnati Bengals are going to be a really good surprise. I feel like also the Cowboys would probably be a surprise too. Like if Dak
Yeah.
Prescott doesn't get hurt again and performs well, I feel like that'll be the surprise, for me at least. But yeah,
I just
Okay.
don't trust Mike McCarthy. Like
yeah, me
that's
neither.
my big thing.
Which is why I say it's a surprise, because if they actually do well and they perform decently, that's going to be the surprise.
Yeah.
Right.